ready, Kay?
I'm ready, Micheline.
You know it's Monday night, right?
Yeah, you know what that means.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
The Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the Kicks and Giggles show.
It's the kick. It's the giggle. It's the show.
Hey,
Time to do this, people.
let's go. Eddie.
Hey. Well, good evening. Good evening. Hi, Micheline. How are you?
I'm great, and so welcome to the Kicks and Giggles show.
Hello,
I am
everybody.
Micheline Bowman, and tonight, I have a special co-host with me, Miss Addie. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everyone. You've kind of met me probably last month. I was with Kay, and I'm here again tonight, and I'm glad to be here. I am Adebola, Ayoteju, AJ, A Boogie, or Miss Jacobs, if you're nasty. Hey.
Okay, and Miss Jacobs, if you're nasty, welcome to the Kicks and Giggles show. Our girl Kay is doing her thing, and I said, Kay, we're gonna hold this down, keep it moving. So, Kay, shout out to you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, congratulations on everything.
Yes. Congratulations. We're not gonna tell your business what you're doing, but we're gonna keep
congratulations.
And congratulations. No, she's not pregnant, so don't nobody ask.
Oh God, no.
I don't know that she is. But again, tonight we have another adult topic, and I had to reach back and get my ancestors for this topic.
Hey.
I'm just saying, hey. I had to reach back because I needed some help with this discussion. And so, Eddie, we're going to get into it.
Yes, we shall.
That we always do this thing on the show where we do our kick and we do our giggle. So do you have a kick or giggle for tonight?
Well, I would say I have a giggle. Yes, I do. So my good giggle is my birthday's coming up.
When is it?
It's the best day of the best month. Okay. Well, let me flip my hair.
I ain't got no hair, but okay. What is it?
Okay. It's June 6th.
You're Gemini.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so who do I have tonight? Do I have Addie or I have AJ? Who do I have tonight?
You're going to get all of us tonight.
Okay, giggling, happy early birthday. Okay, giggle.
Yes, and I think for the first time in a very long time, I am so ecstatic to be celebrating my birthday. I'm alive and well. Praise God that people, who started, the year with us are not here with us anymore. And I am just grateful to God for another year. I'm going to be 45. Yes.
Okay, so you're 45, and I'm your age backwards plus a year. Don't worry, I'm 55. Just leave it alone.
Oh goodness. Listen, you look good. You look absolutely amazing. Yes, so I'm excited about that. I have this whole thing planned, and I'm like, I am praying. I'm like, God, great weather, because the weather the past couple of days was
sucks. Yeah. Yes, it's okay. What you got? What you got for the kick? Any kick going on?
Listen, that was yesterday. That weather could have kicked rocks, like jagged rocks for that matter.
Yeah, the weather it sucked.
Yeah, I had an event yesterday, and that's what I do. I'm an event designer producer, and I had an event that we were setting up for, and we had set up, and everything was fine, and we were by the water, and guess what happened? The sky just turned black. And we had to basically break everything down, move everything within 25 minutes.
Yeah, that is definitely a kick when it comes to outdoors. Yeah, this type of year, it's these summer storms. It's not technically summer, but we've been going up and down and up and down. So
it's going to be 56 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, keeping on with the kicks and the giggles, I'll start with my giggle as well. My giggle was Saturday was hot as hell. And I sat outside in 95-degree weather to watch my daughter graduate from Morgan State University. Shout out to you.
Congratulations.
So let me just say that I giggle my happy ass off because just watching people come and celebrate. And the way things have changed since I graduated from college, watching the festivities that took place, the outfits that came through the stadium, that gave me a really good laugh. I'm not even going to get into it, but shout out to those Bears, class of 2022. My daughter graduated magna cum laude, and she's done.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Some people graduated. Thank you, Lordy.
Thank you. I know. Thank you, Lordy. Just can I get out, Lordy? But so that's my giggle. That was a great experience. Now, my kick is that on social media today, and just in general, I'm getting so tired of seeing African-American videos circulating where people are getting beat up, punched, stabbed, whatever. Like video, why? That's just me. Why? I'm tired of that. I know that social media is social. And it lets people see things that are happening all over the world. But for me, it hurts me when like today, for instance, someone shared a video of a Black girl at a gas station. I didn't watch all of it, but this white man was punching her. And like, oh my God. And she was on the news saying, hey, she was at the counter. He put something down and she slid it over to put her stuff there because she was at the counter. He made something about, I'm sick of you people. And just he just beat her all in the face. So stuff like that, I'm ready to like be done with it. I can't handle it. Yeah. So that's my kick for the day. But let's get back.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to bring the mood down, but that was my kick. I wanted to kick those people who were committing those crimes and committing those things against people of color. And I'm hoping that, the justice system, it ain't about justice, because we saw that recently, that, what happens to one person with a gun who kills people, he still walks around alive. But if he was a Black man with a gun who killed people,
listen, if he was a Black man, just a Black man, he didn't need to have a gun. He would not be alive, to tell that story. And we need to be honest. I think that this dishonesty that we have with ourselves and a narrative that it's not really happening is a way to dissociate from what is really happening. So,
we got to talk about it. So now something else we have to talk about is the lovely word, as I can segue, submission. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can start dropping your questions in the chat about how you feel about it.
But first of all, I think, can we say hi to everyone who's joining us, where they're joining us from?
Okay, well, I see we got, hello, Deborah. How are you? I know she's joining us from North Carolina. And we got Bray tuning in from Landover, Maryland. This is the time that Kay, honestly, she's the bomb. I know you're listening, Kay, but Kay normally has this long plethora of countries and continents and things like that of people who are joining us. Micheline doesn't have that. I have me. I have
okay. Well, let's say hello to everyone, wherever you're joining us from, whether it's from, here in, Maryland, Prince George's County, Montgomery County, whatever the county is, in the USA, Africa, Australia, Europe, United, Arab Emirates, wherever you're from, Asia, thank you. It is such a pleasure to have you guys on here this evening. And this topic is very interesting.
Yes. So submission. So of course, when I looked up the word, first of all, let me just say that when I hear the word submission, or a woman being submissive to her husband and all that, first of all, I want everyone to know I'm taking out the Bible. This is not religious. This is not where I'm trying to get the Bible involved, because everyone has their own thoughts about the Bible. And I do not want to mess with God when it comes to the word about being submissive. This is just my own personal opinions, feelings, and thoughts. And then adding, of course, you're going to share your own and tell your own true stories about your experiences. Look at your eyes, your experiences. So we're going to have a good old time. But I want to say up front, when I looked up the word, submissive does not mean abuse. Some people think that submissive, that it means abuse, that hey, everything he says, how he says it, when he wants to. And again, that word to submit, sometimes people get, they get in their feelings about it. It was said in the book that is to be of joyful service. So as you're doing it, you are joyful doing it. You don't feel like you being a slave, or you have to do it. and that you consider your spouse's opinion when you're submitting to her or him. Because yes, men can submit to women, even though it says that mostly that women submit to your husband and all that. But in today's day and time, there are some men that do submit to their wives. So I'm like, you said,
listen, I just need to take like a step back or two.
Go ahead.
We're gonna get right into it, right?
Yes, because I mean, again, this is what I am. When I went and did the little Google search, I put the word submissive. Of course, submissive was a little thing different than submission.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is.
Yeah, two different words. People like, am I being submissive? Or am I being, it's a submission? So I did the word submission. And it says, while submitting to your husband is good, you should, 1, show him that you trust him, because I can deal with that. 2, and you should always influence each other. And again, this is why submitting to a husband is good. 3, no unnecessary conflicts. I can see that. Okay. And 4, your marriage will flourish. Let's just hold it right there. That's what's being said. Why submitting is good. Okay. Addie, what do you think? Why it's good? Or do you even think that it's good?
Oh yes. Listen, I come from that school of thought. That I mean, we're always going to have that whole, I would say, different roles that we play in the relationship, right? And yes, we're not going to necessarily reference the Bible, but this is where a lot of this comes from, right? This is the derivative of it. It actually says, there's actually something that talks about submit ye to one another, right? And recognize that every single thing that you said talks about husband. Husband, not some guy that you're talking to, not some guy that you're dating, a husband. And the definition of a husband is completely different from the definition of some guy that you're dating or some guy that you're seeing and stuff like that. But the reality is that, I made a note that submission is not slavery. Correct. I come from a very patriarchal society where, submission is seen as literally anything and everything that, the man says goes. I don't believe in that. That's not my belief at all. I believe in being submissive and submitting to someone who has earned that right. Not all willy-nilly, because out here in these dating streets, these dating streets, they're
not saying streets, the streets. That's right.
They're the streets. Okay. Okay. It's like everybody wants to come with that, aggressive narrative, like, I want a submissive person. I'm like, yes, that's fine. You can get a submissive person, but have you shown yourself worthy
of that? I agree.
Be submitted to. That's the question.
That is the question. And for those wondering who we are, again, my name is Micheline Bowman. Kay, as Lewis is doing her thing tonight. So who we got sitting in for you? Who we got over here?
We got Miss Jacobs, right?
Miss Who if you're nasty?
Yeah, Miss Jacobs, if you're nasty.
And again, we want to welcome you all to the Kicks and Giggles show. Welcome. And I do want to give some shout outs again because they just came through. I want to shout out the Philippines, Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine. Wow. Clinton, Hyattsville, Grovetown, Atlanta, GA. We always
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, Georgia, Charlotte, and Wilmington, North Carolina, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes.
Loveland, Colorado. What is popping in Loveland, Colorado?
I hope a lot of love.
A lot of love out there. Chino, California, DC. Okay, wait a minute. Brandon, South Dakota. Okay. The Bronx. And Bloomington, Illinois. Look, I tell you, we have listeners all across the states and like the world. So again, thank you all for tuning in. And again, tonight, our topic is submission. I don't know, Addie, do you have a drink? Because I have a little something in my cup.
My alkaline water.
Okay, I have alcohol water. No.
Did you turn it into alcohol?
Okay, I'm just saying have alcohol water. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because
Okay.
if I tell you what's in that, you're like Micheline. Okay, on to the next one. 'Cause I'm not. So yeah, when you guys tuning in, we're talking tonight about submission. And the reason why this topic came about, there is a video that I saw earlier on Instagram about a young lady. She and someone filming, they're in a car ride going someplace, I don't know. But she goes, "Hey girl, show me that rock on your finger." So the girl puts up her hand, she has this big, huge diamond on her
I mean,
finger.
it's gorgeous.
And it was gorgeous. And so she's like, "Tell everybody how you got that man." So she says she pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, and Addie jump in if necessary. She says that she got the man because she was being submissive. So I'm sorry about because of submission, meaning that she was trying to tell women that if you want a husband that you could be a stay-at-home wife, you need to go out and get a job that's going to put you in that space to get that man. So be a secretary so you can marry the boss. Is pretty much what she said. And that's what she did. And she's saying there's nothing wrong with that because she cooks and cleans and does stuff that he wants, but she don't have to work. I kind of took offense to that because I don't want to raise my daughter saying, if you don't want to work, go find a job to become the boss's wife. That's how I took it, so to speak. How did you take that video?
So I took it as someone not taking responsibility for their life and confusing docility, being docile, with being submissive. Okay. Submission means you're an active participant. It doesn't mean that you do not have any say, but it means that you trust this person enough to make decisions. Not that, hey, listen, because you have money and you have power and you have access and, hey, I'm just going to take whatever you say. So, I don't disagree with her that there are certain places that you need to present yourself in to meet specific types of men that you want to associate with. But if that's, really all your goal in life, my question is, how do you really feel about yourself? I mean, I really feel like there's something in particular that young lady's missing in her life, because a lot of times, when you look at submission in that regard, you're trying to abscond from your responsibilities.
Right.
That's what me I would say.
No, I agree, because I said to myself, I tried to look at it as a mother of a daughter.
Yes.
And how would I feel if my daughter came to me and said, "Hey, I got this 10-carat rock on my hand, but now I can't do this, I can't do that, I gotta stay at home, I gotta do everything that he wants." I'm thinking, well, where does self come in? Where do your dreams, your hopes? And the girl made it seem as if, well, she enjoys cooking and cleaning, and she sleeps with her boss. But I'm thinking, to me, the dynamics of saying that it's okay that you enjoy all that, but now you get the chance to say that I'm sleeping with my boss. So, hey, that's why I got this ring on my finger. It puts, to me, in the eyes of young ladies, not the truth, because the life doesn't just work like that. You just can't, everyone's not going to be able to go into a job because they want to marry a rich man and become a secretary or a paralegal to marry a lawyer. It doesn't happen like that all the time. But yes, it does happen like that. We see that. Nannies all of a sudden become you didn't say anything, you just gave me the look like. So okay. You see where I'm going with this. It does happen.
And if we're gonna have a real conversation, men with money and power do wield and exert a certain level of influence, okay, that right. Some men don't have access to, right? But I'm going to speak for myself. Submission doesn't look like that to me. That's not submission to me. Submission is we have an equitable relationship, but because I see that you're worthy, you can lead. You have shown that you can protect me. You have shown that you can provide, then I can say, all right, I'm submitting to you. And submission does not necessarily mean I give up my hopes and dreams. What submission means is that I trust you to lead us to what we have both decided and agreed to is what we want to accomplish in life. I mean, I
It makes
don't know.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, in today's day and age, how many women or young girls right now are out there actually looking for that next big thing as far as a man to take care of them so they can live that life of luxury. And what are they sacrificing? Because again, everyone's dreams, hopes, and goals are different when it comes to a man and marriage and to
Mhm,
even have the word submission come about.
mhm,
And social media being in our face all the time, the same way I
mhm,
saw that and I shared it with you and I shared
mhm.
it with Kay. Of course, people keep sharing and sharing and sharing. So it kind of like validates this girl's video, like, hey, I got a ring. This is what you do if you want a ring. And I guess in a subtle way, that's what that video is saying.
And I think that the people who do not necessarily want to do the work, the
Mhm.
internal work, will latch on to that. You know, oh, that's the way I get a man. I just don't say anything. I'm docile. I let him do whatever he wants. And he can get away with murder as far as as long as you have money, and that's what I want. But it, this our society now has just amplified this whole lifestyle, this luxury lifestyle. You have to have this type of car, this type of house, this and that, and has really taken away the human factor. How do we relate to one another? Do we are our goals aligned? Our morals, the same? Do we have the same standards, in life, and things such as that? And some people, maybe they don't care about that, but that's really important to me. you know that's important to me, and I think that for the majority of us, that's important. So for this young woman, she may have gotten a ring. My question is, are you in an equitable relationship? Does he value you outside of just, hey, your body, you can have my kids? Is he going to respect the relationship?
Exactly.
you
How
know
happy is she?
there we
Yeah,
go.
and how happy and is I was also wondering, was her girlfriend, sister, whoever that was filming it, is there envy because she has this ring and she has this lap of luxury, and here she is like trying to get her to tell other people how to get it. Is she trying to get the ring too? Is it all about getting the ring and not having to work? Because she still has to work. She's working whether she wants to admit or not. She's working even harder to keep
Hmm.
that man, to keep that lifestyle, to keep that everything, because she made it seem as if she did it for a ring, which is, to me, is kind of crazy.
So, Micheline, you're wearing that shirt that says Nigeria on it. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our experience. Okay. Okay.
Again, for those tuning in, I did my DNA. That these Nigeria is my roots, and because the word submission hit me a little differently,
Hey,
I told AJ I had to go back and get my ancestors on my back, literally, so I can have some like. I'm worked up here. I'm worked up on this word submission.
listen, what tribe? Did it tell you what tribe?
Ibu.
Listen.
What?
Well, I'm Yoruba, but
Okay.
Igbo women, you should research a little bit more about the Igbo tribe. Just to get some context, even as to how they also view marriage, submission, relationships, all of that. But I'm Yoruba, and in our culture, in our tribe, respect is such a huge thing, right? So you kneel or you genuflect, to greet your elders. When you go to speak with your elders, you use a term of seniority for them. So, hey, as I'm calling you Micheline, if we were back home, you'd be like, nah, you ain't calling me Micheline. You're gonna use that term of respect. So, that plays into even romantic relationships, if you want to call them that, right? um and a lot of people are so gung-ho about marriage, because marriage is really, really celebrated in our culture, right? As a woman, if you're getting married, your family is so happy, they're paying for everything, right? Your husband just come and carry you and take you away. Thank God we were able to marry you off, that type of thing. But a lot of women, I would say a lot of my peers, are so unhappy, you know, in their marriages. And I'm just like, what is this? Okay, you got the ring and all of that, but guess what the man is doing? You're going to listen to me, you're going to do everything I say, but he's also out there doing his own thing.
No.
And that for me is heartbreaking, you know. And I mean, like I said, I have a lot of friends that I grew up with that are going through this, I would say, life crisis right now, because it's like, yes, we got married and everything just kind of changed. I'm just supposed to do whatever you say and, you know, submit to you, but you are out here doing whatever you want.
Okay.
Ooh.
I particularly don't like that. But see, when I was looking up submission, it also said that men can submit to their wives. Now, if you say that, people are like, oh, they're ready to throw rocks at me. But I'm just saying, you know, that's what the book says. Don't quote me. But I also want to say that for ladies out there, my question was, okay, so you hear the word submission. So how do you even submit? What is it about? You know, what should I be doing? Because they're saying that if you want to have a good man and you want to find somebody, you want to find a husband, you want all these things, that women have got to stop being so headstrong and understand the word submission doesn't make them soft.
Where should I lead? I'll take my wig off and throw it. Listen, it is a trigger word for women because for a long time, women have not seen, I would say, what is called an equitable relationship modeled for them.
I'm with you on that.
Now, this whole submission thing, the reason it's triggering is because it feels like giving up everything that you've worked for and handing it over to someone again that you don't feel is worthy.
And that's key, worthiness.
Yes, they haven't earned it. And a lot of times, you know, I'm gonna speak for myself. A lot of times people are coming right out the gate, you know, swinging. I want a submissive. Listen, it is earned, right? And you also have to understand that it hasn't been modeled for you how to lead properly. So have you, sir, done the work to know what it is to lead, right? That way you can get someone who is number one, recognizes that you are a leader. And
correct.
At that point in time, relax their guard enough to submit to you. So now submission to me is based on the fact that I respect you enough to do that. Now, you do not demand my respect. You command my respect. If you have to demand, bully, bamboozle me,
I love it,
berate me to get respect, it's not, submission is not going to happen.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
It's not going to happen. Women need to feel safe. You know, and I think that, you know, we're constantly at loggerheads because no one wants to put the gun down. But guess what? You know, we have to, which means we have to be open enough to that idea and it not be so triggering for us once we hear it. Like you saw me shake my head.
But you're right. But the word is triggering for people. And that's why I said, getting a thing that, you know, when you hear that word, it sits differently with different people when they hear that word. Okay, so like I also did my little research, how to submit to your husband. And I would say, Lord, do I want to read these words? So I want to read
it out loud. Let's hear.
So they said what you just said. I'm repeating something you just said. Let him take the lead.
Yes.
That was the first thing it said. Let him take the lead. Ask him for his opinion. Not that yours don't matter, but it's about knowing what he wants, what his thoughts are, what his desires are. How does he feel about what you're talking about? You need to make sure that he understands that you want to know. Think of his needs. Again, not that you don't have needs, but again, this is how, as a female or a woman, how do you submit to your husband? Try not to criticize or speak negatively about him.
Okay.
I can see that one.
Agree.
The next one, I was like, okay, be intimate frequently. Okay, I'm on every day. Just bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get it in frequently.
Wow. I am done.
I'm just saying, you got to get it in. But I mean, but sex is part of, a marriage. So we were talking about husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him about changes in the marriage. And I can
Okay.
see that as well, because, you want to make sure that you're on the same page. Like you said, you got to be on the same page.
Right, right.
But the most important thing it says about how to submit to your husband, one of the most important things, don't accept abusive behavior.
Thank you very much. Submission is not slavery. It's not abuse. A lot of women, unfortunately, the way we are psychologically made up is that, the minute you yield yourself in that way, it's very hard to dial it back, right? This is going to be my question.
Sure.
It's great to know how to submit to your husband. Is there anything that talks about how to lead?
Oh, I didn't get that far in the whole situation of reading in life, but I'm sure there is. Okay, so what I did was I Googled the word submission.
Right.
So if you found something that said how to lead, you tell me. But everything I did was about how to submit, and for submission for husband to wife and wife to husband.
So I'm going to be honest with you, Micheline. I feel like we women are hit on the head all the time. How to be a wife, how to do this, how to do that.
We are.
My thing is that we are already so inundated with that. Trust and believe me, it's somewhere in our subconscious, right? Men now need to learn how to lead. Okay? It's not by you saying, "Oh, I'm a man and you have to submit to me." Or, the other word that a lot of people like to throw out there, I'm a dominant. So
Okay.
you have to submit to me. I'm like, listen, being a dominant doesn't mean that you're a bully. Being a dominant, or I'm a masculine man, so I'm not that guy. I'm not that, just because hey Kay. uh, you know, um uh, being a dominant man doesn't mean that you are an aggressive man, because for some people, being a dominant man means, or being a masculine man means being aggressive and coming in every situation with like a jackhammer. No, being a masculine man means that, first of all, you're emotionally intelligent and mature. You know what to apply in any given situation, and you don't necessarily react and respond to every situation, because it doesn't require that kind of emotional currency at that particular time, right? It also means being able to be a safe space.
And you got to have that safe space. Yeah.
For your partner. And that doesn't come by you saying that. That comes by you showing that, right? And I think a lot of people just want that that title of, yes, I'm a man, and you should allow me to lead you, or you should be submissive to me, to just be conferred without actually showing it.
I agree. And I know that we're talking about submission as far as a husband and a wife, but like you were saying before, if it's a boyfriend, a booty call, a boo thing, or whatever it is you want, it's different. I'm just saying.
I need a soundtrack. It's booty call.
But I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm single, and I've been told before that I am single because I don't know how to be submissive, and I took offense to that. I really did. Yes, because I said to it made me say, I like sucking air, like, hold up, who are you to tell me why I'm single? Because I'm not doing what it is you want a woman to do. Every woman's built different, made different. We're all wired different. I might want to submit to someone who I feel, like you said, is going to lead me, who's going to be there for me, who's going to do all those things that I feel a safe space, all those things. But if I don't feel that safe space with that particular guy, why should I just do what you want because that's what you want? Because it's setting up in my brain that he wants somebody to chop, fizz. And I want somebody who's going to chop with me and allow me to feel and encompass all that.
So I've got a good story and I'm going to tell it, right?
Oh yes, please tell me that.
But before that, we kind of talked about the young lady that we saw, in the video, and you and I both kind of agreed, like, this is somebody that doesn't want to take responsibility for their life, right? There are some men who I believe want to control. So submission is not someone submitting to you is not about you controlling their life, right? But they associate controlling or you allowing them to control them as a sign of submission.
Right.
No, that is abuse. That is
It
emotional
is.
abuse, and it will lead to verbal, physical, psychological abuse. Please, somebody controlling you, talking about, hey, don't wear that, when you go outside. I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion about the way that I dress because we're together, but you can't tell me, oh, don't wear that outside because I don't like it. There's a way you can say, hey, honey, I think, this is not particularly flattering on you. And I don't like the way it looks on you. Could you consider wearing something else? Now, if she decides not to, listen to you, that doesn't mean she's not submissive. It means that, hey, she's just more comfortable in that, and it might be a discussion that could be had further. But for some men, that's triggering. Oh, you don't listen to me. Or then I'm like, first of all, let's put things in hierarchy. Okay, is this life or death? If I wear this, I'm going to die. Am I going to die? No. If we're both not gonna die and it's not gonna affect anything, okay. And if you don't like the way I dress, maybe you shouldn't be with me then.
I'm telling you. And again, I feel like, well, I'm gonna be honest. What I did say is that just because I'm not doing what you want means that maybe that I'm not the one that you want, or I should be with you. Because I feel that.
I mean, if something that I would say that little bothers you, because for me, life or death situation is we're talking about how we're building our lives together, how we're creating wealth, do we want more children, that kind of thing. Those are the kind of conversations.
But thank you. I was about to say those are conversations that need to be had in a relationship. When you're working. I'm like this, okay. I'm 55. No, I haven't been married. I always say the same thing. There's nothing wrong with me. But if that man comes along, I already know in my heart that I'm going to be, I would submit to whatever, because if I feel that he is that leader, he is that power figure that attracts me and draws me to him, I have no problem with sitting in the back seat, letting him, he could drive from here to California. I'll be a backseat driver in a heartbeat with no problem.
Micheline, the reality is that the minute that you feel emotionally safe, your guards are going to do this.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be like, what you need? What you want? How much?
Like, yes, sir. What would you like? What would you like me to bring you tonight?
Yes, I'll be like this. Oh.
Yes. We're going to turn into that lady from Coming to America. Hop in on one foot.
I'm like, what do you need? Now, well, I might not be that bad, but I mean, I already know in my heart. I've already decided that, if certain things don't work, and I feel like I've been, not that I've tried certain things, I treat people with respect the way they respect me.
Right.
That's just how it is. If a man respects me, he will get all the respect, attention, but I'm going to always be who I am. Right. But I don't want, I've met men who feel like they have a complex of something to prove. Like, I'm the man. This is who it is. This is who I am. This is how it is, with no type of, hello, do I have a voice? No, you don't have a voice.
Well, no. And at my age right now, my reaction to that is like, you know what? It's not you, it's me. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it easy. I'm gonna exit stage left.
So you already tell them. You tell them that, hey, it's me. You let them know it's you.
You know what? It's not you, because guess what? At this age, none of us are changing. You are not changing. I am not changing. So that's the reality. So based on that, it's not you, it's me. Because what I need, you can't necessarily provide. So I have made a decision. I'm exiting stage, left, right, whichever door is open. I'm going through it. How about that?
Whatever door is open.
Yes, like, listen, a window, a crack, I'm leaving, because I do not. The reality is, I don't have that emotional bandwidth, to deal with this. I don't.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that, and this is just
what's going on with my hair?
What? What's wrong with your hair? People can't. Well, for those who are listening, Addie hair is very pretty. I don't know what she's doing. She's like flipping it for left. What's wrong with my hair? I don't have no hair to flip or to flop, so I can't talk. I have no hair. My curls like Washington.
It's a big head full of curls, and I just did. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just did an introduction, online somewhere, and I told them, I said, listen, I love big hair, so don't tell me nothing because I can't hear over the volume of this hair. Okay, I can't hear you. So you asking for submission? I can't hear you.
I love it, but it's beautiful. I need to be like you next time. But I was going to ask you. So, do you think that submission in today's society with these young girls that are out now? I mean, because again, they have social media, they have so many more influences coming at them all the time about how they should behave. Again, like we don't know how many young women are going to see that video that might say, you know what? Maybe she's right. Maybe, I've gone to school for 4 years to be whatever, but I don't need to do that. I need to go get a job so I can marry my husband and he could take care of me. And do you think that look at that face? What you will sign?
So Micheline, that's why I cringed. I think that in that video, what I got from that young woman who was speaking is like she doesn't know who she is. In a few years, she's gonna wake up and be like, "What the heck did I do?" Right?
For a ring. She did it for a ring.
So I think that if you know who you are, and I'll segue a little bit. If you know who you are, and that's what you want, you've determined, and it's like this is the life that I want to live for myself. By all means, do you? It's kind of like, preferences, even, when it comes to lifestyle type relationships, right? Some people, like the submissive lifestyle, where, hey, I am dating someone who's, did you roll your eyes? Don't do that. No, but that's the reality. But even in those type of relationships, there are very specific agreements. Right. That are agreed to, right? And you have to come into it very knowingly.
Correct.
Right? You're not just going along. You guys agree to terms. I don't know who watched 50 Shades of Grey, but
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was an agreement. They had an agreement.
Yes,
and somebody didn't like the contract. Yeah, there was a contract. And you already know what's going down. And so don't ask no questions. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. Don't get all caught up in your emotional feelings. This is what it is.
Right. So that being said, I think that this, again, to just say, hey, listen, you just have to submit. I gotta know what the terms are. What are the terms of agreement? What are we agreeing to? What am I submitting to? And why do I have to submit? Just without you proving that to me, right? You want someone who has willingly said, I trust you. That is, I think that right there is golden.
That is number one.
I think for a man, I think that should just make your ego inflate so much bigger. Like
that's number one on this list, to show him that you trust him. And if a man can feel that a woman trusts him,
yes.
On the other hand, how much?
Okay. So let me tell you my story real quick, okay? This is out here in these dating streets, right?
We talked about that. No streets.
This is a while back. This is a gentleman that I met. Hey, blah 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 blah. Whatever. Very good, no problem. This whole conversation about being dominant and preferring a woman who's submissive and all that, and I'm like, all right, that's good. I think that's fantastic. We're getting along. And it's like, okay, hey, I'll see you on this day. I'd like to see you on this day. Very good. We talked the day before. This day came. Crickets. Nothing. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm not going to get in my feelings because guess what? I'm a big girl. I could put on my panties. I could deal with it. And so I reach out, I would say a few days later, and then they say, hi, how are you? And we're talking. And I was like, you owe me. And the energy that came from the text message, what? I'm like, oh, okay.
And you can feel energy from a text message. You can feel energy from
yes.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I owe you? I was like, oh, okay. That's how we play. Yeah, I was like, okay. Like, oh, jog my memory. And I was like, no, I'm not
So
going to.
he didn't have any type of like
No, no.
no.
I'm still going on, and then, um, a few days later, we talk. And it's like, oh, I'd really like to see you. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give you the benefit of that. I didn't even bring it up. I was like, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, which means that, sure, okay, we pick a time. This time around, I was like, I'm gonna observe due diligence. I text you, hey, I'm on my way home, and it's this whole my aunt, my this, my that. I'm like, you know what, sir? Never mind. I was like, all right, no problem. Call me whatever. I went home, I put on my pajamas, watched the movie, ate. I never got a call. Next day, I get a text message. Oh, sorry, somebody found my phone. I lost my. It was a whole story. So, anyways, we eventually talk, and he was like, I would really like to see you. I said, honestly speaking, at this point, I can't even take you seriously.
Right.
And he gets so angry. When I say get so angry, it was really, oh, I've shown you, I've texted you, I've done this, that. Anyways, the Nigerian in me is like, okay, I don't even know why you're getting upset, but okay, no problem. And I was like, all right, no problem. I understand why you would feel, upset about, me saying that I didn't take anything that you said with a grain of salt. No problem, let's see each other. But I took some time, I thought about it. And I was like, I wanted to talk to him further. So a couple of days later, I texted him. I said, listen, let's talk before we actually see each other. And I asked him, I said, do you have a temper? What do you mean? I said, when I spoke with you, you went off over what? Me telling you that, we made plans twice.
And then you broke them twice.
And you broke them twice. Well, the first time, why didn't you call me? I'm like, you're the man. You're the one who said you wanted to meet. I'm not going to be calling you to ask you when you're going to see me. You told me, and we spoke the day before. So if you made arrangements with me the day before and didn't follow up, who should be angry? And it just went, it went down a rabbit hole, and it became, he started yelling.
So what did he want? Did he want a submissive woman at that point from you? He wanted you to be
yes,
submissive?
Because he said, we're not having this conversation. I know how you want it to go. You want me to apologize to you, and I'm not going to apologize.
Oh, okay. So can I just say that's an asshole? He was being a flat out asshole.
No, he said, what you want to listen. He said, what you want to hear is, I'm sorry, and I'm not going to say that.
Okay, I'd have been like, next.
Listen, I said, you said how old was he?
No, I said I would have been like, next.
So I said, okay, no problem, and I left it there, and then I infamously do this. Kay knows this. Kay knows that I have my reads that I do for people, and I save them because I believe that at some point I'm going to write a book.
Well, you have to include submission in there.
Yes. So I sent a text message. I'm going to read my text message because I feel like sometimes maybe somebody didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you, and hopefully that gives you, context. I says, good evening, whoever. So I needed a few days to process. I never thought me sharing how I felt about something in as non-confrontational way as possible would actually lead to a verbal altercation and a complete breakdown in communication. I had every intention to see you on whatever day. I was actually looking forward to it because guess what? I actually like you, enjoyed our conversations, and certainly noted that your invitation to wherever, would mean actually investing real time together and possibly the beginning of something worthwhile for both of us, right? Anyways, I don't expect you to understand, I don't expect you to know, neither understand, but one of my non-negotiables, which we talked about right now for submission, is ineffective conflict resolution.
So then for him, that was like the conflict and no resolution.
No, I mean, you basically shut me down. We're not talking, right. That's it. And I said, and while you can resolve your conflicts the way you like, the way it looks like for me is not yelling, being dismissive, and outright disregard for the other person's concerns. It also involves both accountability and responsibility.
And that's part of submission too, of being able to take accountability for whatever it is, the actions that you're portraying. And people don't understand that.
Right.
I want the people to know we're coming down to the last part of our show. But again, you are listening, tuned in, watching from whatever platform out there, the Kicks and Giggles show. My name is Micheline Bowman, and I am joined today by the lovely Miss AJ.
Jacobs, Miss Addie,
And Miss Jacobs, if
AJ,
you nasty.
I attach. What you want?
And our girl Kay, she has some things going on this evening, but we are still sitting here holding it down for the Kicks and Giggles show. And
Right.
tonight, our topic is
Yes.
about submission.
Right.
And again, I'm letting everybody know, and AJ is as well, that the word submission hits everybody differently.
Right.
This
It's a
topic,
trigger word for some people.
yes, this topic came about because of a video that is circulating on Instagram. And if you want to know what that video is, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. But it's a video of a young lady sitting in a cab ride or car ride, lift ride, I don't know. And someone is videotaping her, asking her to show off her rock and say how she got it. And in a nutshell, she says, "Hey, yeah, see my ring. It's about being submissive. I guess so I got my husband." Because she decided that she wants women out there to know, well, young ladies to know that if you want a husband in a certain profession, become the secretary, become the paralegal, become the whatever it is,
dental hygienist, whatever.
the dental hygienist, yes, whatever it is of the type of man you want. She's saying to young ladies, get into the profession of having a job to get you close to that man to become his wife. And I just had an issue with that. I truly did, because I don't want my daughter thinking that the only way she's going to meet a man who has money is to become his secretary, dental hygienist, or nanny, or whatever like that. So again, if you got your thoughts about submission, definitely drop them in the chat. Tune in, let us know, because again, it hits people differently. The whole word
Right.
submission.
Right. I mean, and I think that, when it comes to submission, what we have to realize is that it's not the absolute wielding of power or control over a certain person. That's not what it is. It is actually seeing the person for who they are, being able to provide the things that they need, in whatever kind of relationship you guys are having, right? For them to be able to say, I trust you enough to be able to yield to you. And that means that, we are in an equitable relationship, however we define that. But beyond that, I know that I don't have to cower just so that, I can be in a relationship with you. I do not have to, mute myself. I do not have to, diminish myself. In fact, being submissive allows me to flourish even more, Yeah.
But again, so Kay, we miss you, Kay. I wish you were here this evening with us.
Yes.
Things happen, and things happen, but the show must go on, as they say. I said the show must go on. So I'm
Yes,
just happy.
we are dancing to the tune, and I don't know if anybody's like sending messages or asking questions or anything like that. I know that this submission is like a huge topic, and I don't think it's something that can be unpacked in 1 hour, because they're just a lot of things, a lot of things, that come with that, what people have seen modeled for them, their experiences, how they've felt in certain, environments, for some people, they're triggered, because, they've submitted and it has resulted in them, suffering abuse or some type of trauma
Right.
or something like that, but that being said,
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Miss Addie, Miss AJ, Miss Jackson, Miss Jacobs,
Hey!
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, Miss Jacobs, if you're nasty. I want to say how thankful I am that you came in with me tonight to fill in for the lovely KS Lewis.
Yes,
And again, I enjoyed this conversation with you about submission. But before I wrap up, I want to say that again, submission, it should be mutual. It should be selflessness. It should be about service to both of you. It should be about accountability for both of you. And it should be about respect for both of you. And
RESPECT.
find out what it means to me. And
Put some respect on it. Put some respect on it.
I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Kicks and Giggles show. I am Miss Shirley Bowman, joined by the lovely Miss AJ. And again, we'll be back the second and fourth Monday of each night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And with that, I say have a blessed, wonderful day. And Addie, look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.
Good night.